This is Gabriela on the scene today with Talk Network Radio. We have a real treat for you just around the corner, and that is Empowered Living with Jeff Byrd. Jeff is the owner of Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, and he will be coming to you weekly to teach you more about empowered living. Now, let's join Jeff already in the studio.
Hello and welcome. This is Jeff Byrd with Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, and this is Empowered Living. Now, I'm going to do something that I've never done on any of the podcasts before. This is going to be interactive with the audience. So I'm going to be asking for some ideas from you, some suggestions, and I've got a challenge for you too that I'll post at the end and let you know what that's about and see if you'll join me in that and see what difference we can make. The title for this podcast is The 10-Second Miracle and Challenge. 10-Second Miracle and Challenge. That's where you come in for the challenge part. Now, there's a verse in the book of James, chapter 1, verse 19, that says, "Let everyone be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to get angry." In other words, take a chill pill. Just take a breath, and before you respond hastily, before you get upset about something. And this is the reason that I started thinking on this, and it's really come home to me this week, is just driving in traffic around town. Boy, it seems like there's a lot of angry people on the road. I was in traffic. I was getting off at an exit, or off an on-ramp actually it was an off-ramp from the interstate on-ramp onto the road I was getting onto, and I needed to get over 3 lanes to be in my correct lane for where I needed to go. And there was this lady behind me, and she just didn't want to let me over. She kept wanting to cut out around me. And so after kind of wrestling with her for a position the first 2 times, the third time I was like, this woman's determined she's going to hit me and get in front of me. Just let it go. Let her go. So she raced around me, and I waited for another car, and then I got over and ended up passing her in the turn lane that she was trying to get to. And I thought, my goodness, what is going on with us that we're in such a hurry to get somewhere we have to wait? And what difference is this couple of seconds? And I realized it would only have taken, in this case, probably 2 extra seconds of her cutting me a break to not try to run into me. We both could have gotten over very easily and gone where we needed to go with no little drama there. And I thought, my goodness, we just seem so angry. And that's not the first time that's happened to me this week, something like that. I've had a couple of other incidences, and I just watched people cut each other off and tailgating and just in this mad hurry to be somewhere else. And I thought to myself, wow, what a difference would 10 seconds make if we would just take a breath and a chill pill for 10 seconds. And so the traffic I've already mentioned. Here's what I want to ask you to do. I'm going to give a couple of things that came to my mind where 10 extra seconds can make a huge difference and maybe save a life or save an accident or save hurting somebody's feelings. But I want to ask you too, if you're watching this, to respond in the comments and let me know what you think, because there's obviously, I've got my situations, but you've got yours. For example, I was thinking, I don't have kids, so I don't really relate to that. But I thought, boy, I wonder what difference 10 seconds would make sometimes in reactions with children. So if you've got kids or you've got another situation, please let us all know so we can have as many good things to think about and ways we can make difference with just a little bit of time as possible. So I already mentioned traffic. Here's another one that comes to my mind is enhancing our interactions. I tried to help somebody via email the other day, and I got this just very abrupt thanks back. Got it, thanks. I'm like, okay, well, I'm okay. Yeah, but they could have just taken a couple of extra seconds and just said, I appreciate that, or something to let me know that. And when we're talking to people too, they say that only 7% of our communication is verbal. The rest of it is our body language and our tone of voice. That accounts for 93% of communication. And even I was going through a drive-through yesterday, and when I was handing my food, I just looked at the person who had handed it. I just looked him in the eye and said, thank you. I hope you have a great day. And they smiled back and said, hey, I hope you do too. Just that was a pleasant communication. And it only took like 3 seconds, maybe, not even 10, but about 3 seconds to just look them and say, hey, I acknowledge, I see you and I see value in you, and I hope you have a great day. That's all it took. And then we can add value to people too by noticing good in other people. Hey, you did that well. Hey, that was very kind of you. Hey, that was thoughtful. Pointing out something good that they've done that adds value to them, that lets them know, hey, what you did, that good you were trying to do, that's seen and that's appreciated. That can make a big difference. I think it can also make a big difference, that 10 seconds, in our own peace and in our well-being. I find recently I've tried to become more mindful of my breathing, just taking in a 4-count breath and holding it and then releasing it slowly. It slows down my heart rate. It relaxes me. And I've been amazed to find how just kind of short breaths, quick breaths, and just being a little bit tense that I have found myself being, and how that breaks that cycle and lowers blood pressure, good for our hearts, good for our minds, good for our respiratory, good for getting oxygen in where it needs to go. So it's taking that just extra few seconds, maybe 10 seconds, is good for our peace and our well-being. Now, it's also good to take a little, just very short break in our preparation for things. I gave a presentation over a couple of cities away the other day, and I've been working for several weeks on that presentation and revised it a couple of times, and I transferred it onto a flash drive that I was going to plug up to that computer. Well, I got in a big rush before I was leaving, forgot the flash drive. Now, thankfully, I had it on the email on my phone. I was able to email them, and they could call it up, and we were able to have the presentation. But I thought just being in that rush, just not taking that extra few seconds, and I'm not going to be late for anything. What difference does 10 seconds make, in your day, really? But I thought, boy, if I'd have just taken that 10 seconds, just kind of mentally reviewed everything, felt in my pocket where I usually keep my flash drive, and thought, oh, I don't have my flash drive. There it is with my keys right where I put it, so I wouldn't forget it, but I forgot it anyways. It would have made a big difference. Okay, another way that we can do it is before we leave to go somewhere. Okay, now tell me if you haven't had this one. You're in such a rush, maybe running a little bit late. You're trying to grab up all your things that you just fly out the door and right into the car and out into traffic. Now, I had a friend some years ago, and before she ever left to go anywhere, she would say, I just need to sit. And she would just sit for a little bit. Maybe hers was more like 15 or 20 seconds, but I just need to rest for just a minute, take a few deep breaths, compose myself, and be at a good place before I go out and get into the car and get into traffic. I can't help but wonder that if more people did that, how many accidents we might avoid. I've had just in the past few months, just a couple people run into me from behind. One guy, he was in a big truck and punched a hole in my bumper, and I was parked at a stoplight. It's like, how did you not see me? Because mentally we're other places, and taking that few extra seconds to get where we are, do what we need to do, and make a big difference. And another thing that like the verse that I started with says, being, slow to speak. Before you voice your worry, your frustration, your concern about something, just take a couple of seconds and ask yourself, does this really need to be said? Is this going to benefit anyone else? Are they part of the solution and I need to share this so they can help me through it? Or am I just dumping on them? Am I just taking all my problems and transferring them to somebody else? We've all done it, and we've certainly all had people do it to us. Sometimes it seems like they're just backing up that Dempsey dumpster and boom, boom, just dumping all of their trash on us. But we can ask ourselves, okay, really, does this need to be said? Is this going to help anybody? Is this going to be edifying? Are they part of the solution? Because if it's not going to help them, and if they can't help me with it, if I'm just talking to be talking and just air my complaints, why bother? Why not take that 10 seconds? Wait a minute, what can I do good? What can we talk about that's going to be good, that's going to help other people? So, okay, I told you there was going to be some takeaways. So we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be right back, and I'm going to tell you how you can participate in this challenge I'm going to present to you.
Jeff will be back shortly to wrap up today's message. This is Gabriela, still on the scene today with Talk Network Radio. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Empowered Living with Jeff Byrd. If you've missed any part of today's message, you can hear it again online, as well as the entire archive of Empowered Living at www.talknetworkradio.com or search keyword #EmpoweredLiving. We would like to acknowledge our music partners, Sound Ideas for Corporate to the Max, and Kevin MacLeod for Airport Lounge. Any scriptures read during this broadcast are from the New American Standard Version of the Holy Bible. If you would like to learn more about Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, visit www.jeffbyrd.com jeff.jeffbyrdcoaching.com. That is JEFFBYRD coaching.com. Do a Facebook search for @CoachingRocks or drop Jeff a line at jeff@jeffbyrdcoaching.com. Again, JEFFBYRD coaching.com. Let Jeff's Coaching Rocks be the building blocks of your empowered success. Now, let's go back to Jeff for the rest of today's message.
All righty, welcome back, and thanks for joining again. If you're just tuning in, this is Jeff Byrd with Jeffrey Byrd Coaching, and you're watching Empowered Living. And today we're talking about the 10-second miracle and challenge. So this is the challenge that came to mind. I thought, wow, let's see if we can start a movement on the 10-second miracle, just taking 10 seconds to give other people a break. And so I'm going to invite you to join this challenge with me. And the challenge is just this: in the coming week, to intentionally give other people that break. Take that 10 seconds to breathe. Take that 10 seconds to encourage somebody or let them know you see value in them. Just 10 seconds. And think about this. If you did 1 minute in a day, you would have encouraged, and took 10 seconds, you'd have encouraged 6 people. 2 minutes, you could encourage 12 people, make a difference in 12 people's lives in 2 minutes per day. So if you did that 5 days a week, that's 60 people that you positively impacted and made a difference in their lives by taking just 10 seconds before you speak in order to appreciate, before you get upset in traffic. So I'm going to ask you to join this challenge. And what I'd like to ask you to do is, on this video link for this podcast that you're looking at right now, this video podcast, to post other ways that you can think of that where 10 extra seconds could make a difference, so that we can have as many good thoughts coming in, as much good thinking about this as is possible. So please share your thoughts. I certainly didn't think of them all in the ones I just shared with you. So post them there so we can all see that. And then either during the week or at the end of the week, next Saturday, at some point along, post some results that you saw from taking 10 extra seconds. It could be results either with you personally. It calmed you down. You remembered where your keys were. You didn't forget something. You were more patient with the family, something like that. Post something personally, or a benefit that it had to somebody else. Somebody, like I said about the drive-thru, you smiled at him in the drive-thru and said, "Thank you so much. I sincerely hope," not, you don't have to use the word sincerely, but sincerely in your heart, "I hope you have a great day." And just noticing them and really speaking right to them. Or any other way. There's going to be many more ways than what I've mentioned. And I can't wait to hear what you've got. And I can't wait to see who's going to join me on the challenge. If you're in with me on the challenge, if you're willing to do this 10-second miracle challenge for the next week, just simply write in the comments there, "I'm in. I'm in." That's all you got to do. And then just report back when you see something good happen as a result of that. So can't wait to see what happens with all of us working on this. Again, this is new for me. I haven't done an interactive podcast before, but I want to have an interactive. I want to get everybody involved. That's when it gets really fun. So please let me know what you think and let me know what results you get. And just go ahead back to this Empowered Living with Jeff Byrd page on Facebook and look under this podcast for the 10-second miracle and challenge. And if you're listening to this on the podcast that doesn't contain the video, please just go to Facebook, look up Empowered Living with Jeff Byrd, and go to the 10-second miracle video podcast, and you can write your comments right in there. Thank you so much. Can't wait to see what difference we make together in this coming week, and I can't wait to see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.